this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm back again with my large images. If you recently saw my, launch video, yeah, you may be familiar already with these large images. And we recently had a bit of fun. We made, these bits here using the single-sided laminated pieces to create these. And yeah, I thought we would just come along and have a bit more of a play. I'm loving using these large images, I have to say, so far. So yeah, those are the ones that we made previously. And then today what I have done here is you've got a couple of the images have got the what I would call a stamped kind of version of the image. So I think that is the hot air balloon and the clocks. And then you've also got quite neutrally coloured boots and something else I think might be the typewriter. So what I have done, I've printed these onto transparency. So I'll just put them down like that. Hopefully you can see them a little bit better, which I just thought is absolutely lovely. And yeah, I thought we could come along and just have a bit more of a play now with these. So I'm going to just cut out, say, the clock. So we'll just take that one down like that. And if you didn't see my last video, what you get is 10 different images in large size. So there's 10 different kind of vintage images, all in a large size. And each image, there's like 2 to a page, if you see what I mean. And that's purely so that, you know, if you wanted to actually include the images on your journals or in your journals, you know, as a complete page, you can then do that. Just by kind of folding the pages over. You've got them with backgrounds and without for each image, and some of the images you've then just got sort of a couple of bonus pieces with maybe different backgrounds or different coloured images and things. So I've got here the clock now. Excuse me. I thought the clock is going to just look absolutely beautiful, just literally placed onto some pretty background page and then stitched around. And then you could just decorate up the clock with a couple of kind of pieces. So I'm just going to do that. And then it would be a gorgeous, gorgeous journal card. So I'm just going to take my clock here. Now, again, this is where my sewing skills are going to be tested to the limit. What I'm going to do, I think, to hold the clock vaguely in place, I'm just going to glue in the very centre, which is kind of like those hands for the clock. Whoops, put a little bit too much glue on there. Right, so I'm just going to glue the clock down like that. Now I'm gluing the clock down. This is my Paris bouquet or Paris bouquet papers. And yeah, I just thought, don't they look gorgeous with that clock? So I'm just going to put that to one side because I might have some other stitching to do. So I'll try and tie it all in so I do all the sewing together. So that's that one. Let's take the hot air balloon. So the hot air balloon, again, I'm just going to cut down one sort of side. Let me just check which page I might like to put that on. Ooh, I'm not sure now, because I've also got the boot. So let me just double check. I know, I'm kind of like procrastinating a little bit, but I don't want to make the wrong decision. So, boot, well, the boot maybe looks quite good on the blue, weirdly enough. This is not how I expected it to go. I thought it was going to be kind of the other way around, but actually, yeah, I think what I'm going to do is put the hot air balloon down on here. And what I might do is even just have this as a pocket going around. Yeah, I'm thinking kind of a pocket going around there would be really, really nice. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is, again, just kind of like put, a little dab of glue just to hold it in place. Again, just so that when I get to the sewing machine, I remember, you know, what it was I was thinking I was doing, but also so that I just hopefully don't have that moving around. You know, it's going to be vaguely glued in place. So I'm going to just put that to the side. Now I'm going to just bring in that boot. And yeah, I mean, very unexpectedly, I think that boot looks really, really awesome on the blue. I did not think that was going to happen. Oh, I've got some red on the back. It also looks quite good on the red. I have to say it's a little bit lost on the red. Although now I'm looking through the camera, doesn't really look like it's lost. Well, perhaps we could do, this is some from my Christmas background pages, just some leftover that I had. And yeah, I'm now thinking actually, shall we do a red one and a blue one? Because I've got the two, obviously. So yeah, shall we do that? Now, just trying to see how to get the most blue, if you see what I mean. Because obviously we've got that kind of patternedy brown type bit there. So I think I'm going to just put it on there. And then again, what I'm going to do is just kind of glue that down. Just on there. So as it's held in place. And then what I will do is probably stitch all around here. And then... oops. Then decorate it up. So yeah, they're all now glued in place. So I'm just going to quickly take those across to the sewing machine. Okay, so I'm back from the sewing machine. So I mean, obviously I am no sewer, so, or no seamstress. I'm not sure if there's even such a word as sewer, but yeah. So I mean, you know, clearly this is not my finest work, but you know, it's okay. It's stitched around it okay. So I'm just going to cut around my boot. And that obviously is cutting through then the card and the, it's not acetate, it's a transparency. And again, you can buy these. I got mine from Amazon, and you know, you just search up, you know, inkjet transparency film. There's all different brands on there. I have tried to link these things. To be honest, I've had a few problems trying to get my Amazon links to actually work. And yeah, I don't know whether they're actually working or not, but I do have lots of Amazon links on, you know, on my description. I'm not convinced that a lot of them are working. They obviously were working when I set them up. But, you know, like all these things, they kind of go out of stock and things like that, or the sellers, you know, maybe kind of leave Amazon, or yeah, things like that. So, you know, they don't always end up working, but it's another thing that really I need to kind of do is actually work on my Amazon links. So yeah, I just don't seem to have an awful lot of luck with actually getting them kind of working. Right, so we cut that out. So that, I mean, obviously, aside from the fact it's got that red background, which of course is not ideal, because I'm not sure, other than Christmas, I'm not sure when I would actually probably be doing, you know, a blue and a red, but you know, that's fine. And to be honest, I could probably ink around that blue and the blue would pretty much disappear, and it's just given the boot a bit of a kind of different type of hue there. So I'm just going to cut down next is this one, which is my hot air balloon pocket. Now I've stitched in slightly from the top and the bottom, so it's not quite as tall as the page. So I'm just going to cut that down like that. Okay. Get rid of the paper. So there I've got a pretty pocket there. Then I've got obviously my boot. And now I'm thinking, oh, I don't believe it. I've left my clock. Left my clock over there by the sewing machine. Okay, so I'll have to quickly nip back and get the clock in a second, but yeah, I did stitch the clock, so I don't know quite how I ended up leaving it over there, but it was obviously on the bottom of the pile and just kind of didn't get picked up. So again, just cut around my boot. Now, obviously, like I say, my stitching's not really the best, so I just have to be kind of a little bit careful that I don't actually snip into the stitching. And then along here, we've got obviously those shape bits where the laces are on the boots. Again, I didn't go round those with my sewing machine. Of course, if you're a much better sewing machine user than me, you could obviously go round those with your sewing machine. Yeah, I mean, I maybe would have a go at that. But obviously, you know, I'm doing a video and just wanted to kind of get it done really. But yeah, I don't think it would be too hard, to be honest, to go round those kind of, you know, lace type bits. The other thing that I thought you could do is, because if you can see here, you've got kind of like eyelets running right the way down the boot. And you could even possibly put a run of eyelets in there and thread some, you know, some string or twine or, you know, something round ribbon to make laces. Now, I have to say, that's not the type of thing that I would be very good at. I would make a horrible, horrible job of that. So I'm not going to do that. But definitely, I think you could, you know, you could potentially do that. So that's another kind of idea, really. Now, I've got my bows here. So I'm just going to see. Again, this is not going to be the good colour match really to use on here, because we've now got a red background, a blue boot and a purple bow. But I'm thinking you could then decorate the boots up with things like this. So let me just pull in, move that pocket out of the way. Let me see if I can find something that's going to be a better sort of colour. I mean, we could use that, I guess. I mean, it really depends whether I'm going to be gluing this boot onto the page. If I'm going to be gluing it onto the page, I'm not really so worried, you know, about the fact that the back is red. If obviously I'm not going to be, and it's going to be a pull-out piece, then that's slightly more concerning. And therefore, you know, I don't want to necessarily add a whole another colour to the mix. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, for me, I probably would glue this in, because I really hate it when things don't match to such an extent, especially. So, you know, for me, yeah, I think I probably couldn't really get past the whole red, you know, red on the back of that blue boot. But I quite like the look of that little bow there. I mean, again, I've got some flower trims. So I'm thinking, you know, could finish the boot off with some little flower trims or something like that. You could maybe put, you know, other bits and pieces on your boot. For some reason, I'm drawn to the top, really. I think the top is where it looks best. Let me just see whether I've got any other bow or something that would be a better colour match. Got this one. Not sure that's really any better. Weirdly enough, I actually think it's worse. So yeah, I think perhaps I should stick to this one. So, I mean, I think that looks quite nice. So, yeah, let's just pop this on. Now, I'm using my Fabri-Tac here. Obviously, I'm now gluing onto that transparency. So, play around with your glues and find what works best for you. What did I see the other day that somebody recommended? I think they recommended glossy accents, which, you know, that does kind of make sense, doesn't it? Why glossy accents would be quite a good one to use. Yeah, I'm sure that was what they mentioned that they used on some, I think it was, yeah, they might have been making specimen slides or something like that. I can't remember who it was either, so I do apologise. But yeah, that's definitely a glue that would be worth having a go of. Right, so we've got that. Now, do we want to have a little gemstone or anything in the middle? Do love using a bit of bling, so I think this is going to be too big, but let's just see. Oh, it looks okay, actually. Thought that was going to look horrendous, but it looks okay. So just pop my gemstone down like that. How gorgeous is that boot? And, you know, again, I mean, depending on how good you are with your sewing machine and things, I mean, you could maybe stitch some lace around the top and things like that. I am not that good with my sewing machine. So, to be honest, I would muck it up if I tried to do things like that. So, for me, less is more, you know, and I don't very often say that. But, yeah, for me, this just looks lovely. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous embellishment to have. I love the feel of the big things. So, I mean, I just love having this now ready to go into a journal. It's absolutely scrummy. So I'm going to come on to my red one. So again, you know, because I wouldn't really like the whole idea of the blue on the back, I would go for this, you know, just using the red side. So, you know, I can ignore the fact that the back is blue, because I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't probably use it in that way. Oh, that's quite nice on there, isn't it? So again, just going to ink this up a little bit. So I hope everyone's having a good day. Oh, it's so much brighter than the last video that I filmed, where it was so dark and so miserable. So yeah, Yeah, it's quite a relief that it's now a lot better weather today. It's freezing cold, but it is a very nice day. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? Let me just ink this flower up a bit. Okay. Like that. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? So yeah, could just have that. And what colour? I wonder what a pink would look like. Probably really weird, but let's give it a try. It's a bit weird, isn't it? I wonder whether I'd be better off with a different colour bow. Maybe that one. Let me just quickly ink this bow up and see whether this one's going to look better, because maybe I'm feeling, you know, there's a lot of colours going on there now, and to be honest, I would then struggle to use it in a journal, because, you know, probably wouldn't be able to find a journal where I'd feel it would actually go. Aha, that looks better, doesn't it? So, yep, so again, I'm just going to glue my bow onto the top. Okie doke. Like that. Okay, and my flower. And obviously, you know, I'm kind of mixing it up. I used a, you know, a trim fabric, you know, trim flower on the last one. And obviously I'm using a paper flower here. Just going to check whether I might prefer just a sort of ivory pearl, actually, just before I commit to this. Yeah, maybe the ivory would just make it slightly more useful when it comes to using it. Because again, you know, if I have a lot of different colours going on here, when I come to use it, the chances are I'm going to just feel that, you know, even if it might be a very, very tiny thing, it's just going to stop me wanting to use it because I'll feel like it doesn't really go. But how gorgeous does that look? So, you know, straight away I've got just a couple of really lovely things to pop on pages in a journal. So they're just gorgeous, aren't they? And I love the fact that you can just alter them by putting on different, you know, colour background paper, and then that's it. It's kind of transformed. So my next one is obviously this pocket that we made with the hot air balloon. So again, let me just trim off the threads that are kind of hanging around everywhere. Oops. Now, what I thought we could do with this, and fingers crossed, I'm really hoping this is going to dry okay. I've just got some acrylic paint here, and I'm just going to dab some of this just around the edges, like that. Just in a couple of places. That it gives it a sort of like, you know, like a misty kind of edge, really. So, yeah. Like that. Now I've used lilac, and this is just acrylic paint that I've just wiped on here, which, you know, I think works perfectly fine. Let me just quickly wipe up my desk before I end up, oops, dabbing that into everything else that I'm doing, because that will be the next thing. Now, I have used acrylic paint on acetate or transparency before, and I did find that it dried absolutely fine. So fingers crossed it's going to dry fine here. Of course, you know, do check out, because, you know, it may depend on the brand you're using. It may depend on the transparency that you're using, things like that. So before you kind of like go to lots of trouble, you know, if you've already made your pocket, for instance, you've sewn it and everything, you know, you might not want to actually just put your paint down. You might want to check that your paint is going to actually dry on that acetate in the first place. Because there's nothing worse than obviously, you know, ruining something that you've actually spent time on making. So yeah, I would recommend kind of trying it first, really. Now, let me just see whether we want to finish this off with maybe some lace somewhere. I mean, that looks very pretty, doesn't it? I mean, I don't actually mind it, weirdly, without lace. So that's quite nice down that edge. So let me just trim this down. Okay. Let's get rid of that paint before I knock that flying. you know, all these things do happen on a regular basis. Right, wondering whether to get rid of the curly edge of the lace. So I think I will. So I'm just going to snip that down along the edge. I really need to do a trip to IKEA soon. Buy some more scissors because I'm kind of down to, yeah, just a couple of pairs and they're really blunt now. Yeah, so I need to kind of go over and stock up on some more scissors. Okay. Oh yeah, that's better, isn't it? Yeah. Just need to decide, do I definitely want it on the outer edge or do I want it on the stitched edge? I think I like it on the outer edge better. So again, just going to glue that down with my Fabri-Tac. It's actually 3-in-1, but you know, I think they're pretty much the same. So yeah, let's just glue that down there like that. Okay, looking good. Now I have got this bow, which of course I didn't use for the last one. Oh my goodness, how gorgeous does that look? Oh, I hope this is coming out nicely on camera because wow, in the flesh, that just looks so yummy. I absolutely love how that looks. Sorry, just need to be super messy and wipe some of that off because my goodness, I have a lot of glue on there. Oh my gosh, that is such a pretty pocket now. I love how this is looking. And again, you know, to be honest, this barely needs anything else. I mean, to be honest, I don't even know if it does need anything else. I could end up kind of spoiling it by trying to put more things on, but let's just see. Because, you know, more is more. So, yeah, let's just ink up maybe a label. I mean, I'm not sure that's quite the right colour. Got this one, which is kind of beigey. So let's just try this. So, and these are obviously my label printables. So, yeah, all of the, you know, all of the things that I've used and mentioned, they're all available in my shop. So, you know, the large images, obviously themselves, the Paris bouquet background pages, and, you know, of course, that Dickensian Christmas for the red and the blue. They're also in my shop. And, of course, the labels and the bows. Oh, yeah, I love that. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that one down. Okay. Like that. Oh, I love that pocket. Isn't that just so scrumptious? And that's obviously your pocket in there, which, how gorgeous does that look? And then, to be honest, you've got then your other hot air balloon. Now, what you could do, oh, let me put my glasses on for this. Right, what you could do is just cut this out. Now, I will kiss cut this like massively, if that makes sense. So when I say that, I mean leaving a very generous edge around everything, because I've got those men sat in the basket waving their flags. And to be honest, if I go too close, I'm just going to make those men very flimsy and fragile. Very prone to getting just knocked off completely. So yeah, let's just go around there. Okay. Oh my goodness. It's very hard to see against this black cutting mat. Yeah, so what you could do is, I mean, of course, you could put something on your desk that were white, you know, was white or something, you know, a brighter colour, so as it just showed up a little bit better when you're cutting it out. Or you could obviously cut around it with a piece of white paper underneath. I'll just kind of show you what I mean. If you just popped a white piece of paper around and cut around, you know, including the paper if it was a scrap, then that would just make it very much easier to see what you're doing. So yeah, I would kind of recommend doing that. Right, so I've got my men here, and then what you could do is you could just do something like staple on a butterfly, which again, now I can't really see any butterflies that are going to be right on here. Oh gosh. Yeah, I now can't find any that are going to be quite the right colour, because of course they're just going to look horrible against the pocket. Right. Okay, well, if I had some butterflies the right colour, I was kind of thinking, you know, could just staple on like a butterfly on there, and that would be your pull out element. Obviously I can't now find a butterfly, so in which case, let's just bring, oh, we've got that bow. Just going to ink this bow up, and I'm just going to ink the back of it as well, because obviously it may be that this is going to be visible. So, and if I don't end up using it, it doesn't matter if it's inked up anyway. Whoops. Okay. So again, what you could do is just literally glue on, say like a bow here, on your acetate piece. So just pop that down like that. Okay. Just dab that down. Oops, a bit much glue on there, so it's now seeping out around the edge. Just move that slightly. There we go. And then you could obviously put that inside your pocket, so you've got a double hot air balloon. I mean, of course, you could also, you know, just glue this onto a page like it is. You could obviously put it into a pocket, or, you know, have it however. You could have it stitched down the side, but isn't that so cute? I love it on the transparency, and again, just so nice having those big images. Now, I now need to just nip and get that clock, which I obviously left over the other side. So hold on a second. Okay, so I'm back with my clock. Now, obviously, I need to now just trim around where I've cut it down. Oops, let me put my glasses on again. So again, I'm just going to go out slightly from the circle, just because my sewing is not great, and I could have just missed the odd bit and kind of gone over the edge with my sewing. So, you know, I don't want to kind of cut through the stitches. So just go round like that. Oops, like that. Okay. Like that. Okie dokie. Right. So, oh my gosh, I just absolutely love how that looks already. And, you know, I know this just sounds really weird, but honestly, it just has such a lovely feel. I love the feel of these large pieces. They're just so nice. Now, again, I'm going to just ink the back up, because I had obviously made this thinking we would, you know, we would be able to use this as a journal card. You know, of course, up to you how you would use something like this. But yeah, I think you could easily have this, you know, tucked into a pocket, or, you know, just paper clipped onto a page. You could, of course, have it glued onto a page as a pocket or a tuck. But, you know, either or, it's all going to be fine. Now, obviously, the time here is 9 o'clock. Now, I've got these corners, which again, I think I got these from Amazon. I've bought some before from like an independent craft shop years ago. I think I've also bought these from eBay before. So you can get them in a variety of places. I would just search like decorative corners, decorative metal corners or something like that. I'm sure that's how I found them this time. Now, these just happen to be the exact size of those hands on the clock. How awesome is that? I mean, could that have been any handier? Now, obviously, they don't necessarily look like hands. I mean, I don't think they're bad, but they don't look, you know, perhaps ideal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these down, hope for the best that my scissors work. It's not like really thick metal, so generally I do find that the scissors, you know, to be fine. I'm just going to squish that down now, because I've obviously bent it out of shape slightly. Okay. And then all I'm going to do is just kind of trim here that kind of bit that was making it look a little bit fat, if you know what I mean. So again, just squish that down. So I'll just show you. It had that bit in the middle, so I'm just going to kind of trim that off, so it's a little bit flatter, more like a hand of a clock. Okay, like that. How cool is that? Now, I had originally thought maybe I could punch some holes in these and put my brad through. I have to be honest, I don't think that's going to work now. Let me just pop my glasses on again. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work, unfortunately. They have got some little holes in. Let's just see. don't know whether this is going to make them too short, you know, to work as hands, if you know what I mean. So let me just pop them like that. Well, I don't think that's going to be too bad, actually. So what I'm going to just do is just, oh gosh, really fiddly. This is just not my type of thing. So yeah, this is like way out of my comfort zone, I have to say, fiddling around with these types of things. Right, don't know where that piece of metal went. I'll probably stab myself with it later. Okay, and yep, like that. So that then is going to be my hands on my clock. And then what I can do is just pop a hole through the middle. Oops. With my piercer. And then that brad. So the brad has gone through the hole here, through the next hole. Oh, through the next hole. I don't just chuck it around and drop it. Oh my goodness, come on. Right, and then obviously through the hole on the clock itself. Come on, right, and then we'll just then close that up on this side. Come on, right, close that like that. So then what we've got is we've got working hands that actually move around the clock. Now obviously it has got the time already on it, but how cool is that? I absolutely love how that's turned out. So again, you could obviously then put this in, you know, on a page, you know, with your, you know, your turning hands, or of course you could have it on you know, as a journal card where you kind of, you know, pull it in and out. You could decorate it up further. You could, you know, have a bow on there or something. So let's just see if I've got anything, again, you know, that would just go. Probably not. Could have that one, I guess. I mean, if you were having your hands fixed in place, I guess you could have a bow or something, you know, over where you've got your hands, or a flower or a butterfly or something like that. You know, you could just kind of mix it up. But yeah, I mean, I think it's quite nice like it is. Actually, that's cute on there. I thought it was going to look very tiny, but actually it looks okay. So again, just glue this on. Okay. Like that. How yummy does that look? Ah, and I mean, literally that came together like with no effort. I mean, again, there's very minimal kind of faffing around with this. You know, we literally cut out the clock, stitched it onto some decorative background paper, placed the hands on and popped a bow on there. How gorgeous is that? So yeah, lots of really fun things that we've done there with those big images. So let's just quickly pull in what we've done today so that we can just have a recap. So let me just move these things out of the way. So we've got obviously the clock, which, oh, I just love. We've got the hot air balloon, which of course has just got the bow on there, and that would go, you know, into the pocket like that. Okay, we've got the pocket obviously itself. Oops, perhaps I need to, because I generously kiss cut that. So yeah, I'd probably have to take it down a little bit more for it to actually go into that pocket. But anyway, we've got the pocket obviously with that large image on there. We just decorated it up with a bow and a label and the, again, decorative papers. And then we've got the two boots, which I just absolutely love. So scrummy, like massive, gorgeous things to put in our journal. Again, you could use them as toppers. I'm just going to drag in a cover, which I know I'm always using this same cover, so I do apologise. But, you know, you could put these bits on a cover if you fancied. You know, they don't have to be for kind of inside a journal. I mean, how gorgeous does that look? You could just literally layer up on a cover. Let me just pull in a couple of things. So, yeah. I just grab a bit of lace here. You know, layer up a bit of lace and, you know, maybe we could have kind of lace going along the edge or something like that. I've got a flower here, which you could just have, you know, somewhere on that cover. You could have then a book plate or something. How gorgeous would that look on the cover of a journal? I absolutely love it. And of course, because this is that transparency, you know, you're not going to have to Mod Podge it or anything like that. It's, you know, it's transparency, so it's going to be quite you know, resilient. So yeah, things like that. Obviously you could have the clock on a cover. How gorgeous would that look? Let me just bring in this blue cover, just because it's kind of to the side, and I thought, oh, perhaps we'll just see how it looks. I know, I mean, that's, yeah, I don't know why I thought that I would try it on there. Why did I think that would look good? I'm not sure, but something about it was just calling me and saying, oh, try me, try me. Let me try the blue one. Okay, so there's the blue boot on that patchwork cover. So again, you know, you could just kind of decorate that up a little bit further, maybe a bit of lace. You know, again, maybe like a book plate or something. Maybe some lace, you know, down the side. How gorgeous is that as a journal cover? Lovely, absolutely lovely. So yeah, I mean, I just think what a cool bunch of things to have in your stash ready to use in journals, on journal covers, you know, in your art journaling, things like that. They're just really, really awesome, aren't they? So yeah, I really hope that you like them. I have got some other ideas as well, which if I get time, I'd like to come along and do. We'll just kind of have to see if we have time. So yeah, I really hope that you like them, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys soon. Thanks then. Bye.